My dear, wonderful brothers and sisters again. Today I am actually privileged to listen to Elder Maxwell. I think it's Elder Maxwell that he gave one of these talks some years back about overcoming even as I also overcame. That is a talk that he gave some years back. And this is a talk that talks about Jesus Christ and how Jesus Christ was admonishing his disciples on what they need to do, because adversities and tribulations will come their way. And I remember at one time when he told them that all these things that I've gone through, be prepared also to go through the same things. Because whatever they did to me, that one also they shall do it to you. But fear not, because since he overcame all, then we shall also overcome. And President Maxwell is putting it in a very wonderful context. And I would like us just to listen one of the clips as he's introducing this topic, so that we can actually learn some of the things from him. Please welcome.
For that treat. Events and circumstances in the last days make it imperative for us as members of the church to become more grounded, rooted, established, and settled. Jesus said to his disciples, "Settle this in your hearts, that ye will do the things which I shall teach and command you. If not so settled, the turbulence will be severe. If settled, we will not be tossed to and fro, whether by rumors, false doctrines, or by the behavioral and intellectual fashions of the world. Nor will we get caught up in the talk show mentality, spending our time like ancient Athenians in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Why be concerned with the passing preferences of the world anyway? For the fashion of this world passeth away."
For the fashion of this world passeth away. And I like when he says that we need to settle. We need to settle. The only thing that can make us settle is actually having that testimony of the Spirit, that it will affirm everything, the truthfulness of everything into our lives. That once we've received a witness, and our hearts are settled, then we cannot actually be tossed around by any wind of doctrine that comes around. And this is what Elder Maxwell is saying here, that in the last days there are a lot of things that are going to happen. A lot of things that are going to happen. And for you, my wonderful brothers and sisters, you can attest so many things are happening. And for those who've had an opportunity to live in the lives before computers, and you are able now to, and you also saw the advent of computers, and you are seeing the life that our children are living now. You will bear with me. You will agree with me that actually things are actually not right. Things are not going right. Yeah, things are not going right, especially on, you go on platforms of social media platforms, you go to different platforms, you find that things are not actually right, and that's why sometimes a lot of parents will raise concerns of how their children are using these devices, which were supposed to be a blessing, but now they're turning out to be a curse to some people because of the way the adversity has perverted everything. Dangerous, because during those days people used to feel that wickedness cannot come across the walls of their very own homes. They used to feel that what is taught in their home, it's actually safe, so nothing can actually penetrate our homes. But nowadays it's very different, because even our very own homes, the walls of our homes cannot actually protect our children from the adversity, because the adversity has come right even into our homes. And if we are not careful, and if it finds that we are not deeply rooted, in the ways of God, we can easily be swept. Can easily be swept because, and the funniest thing is that people don't understand that this life is not permanent. This life is not permanent, but the way you live your life will actually determine the kind of a person you're going to be. But there are so many people who've lived this world and they are no more. They are no more. A lot of people have lived in this world, but they are no more. But there are those that have left with great lessons, and they've left for us those lessons for us to learn. Okay, they've left those lessons for us to learn, even though they are not around. But they've left those lessons for us to learn. And one of the greatest things about the prophets who wrote the scriptures, even though they are not there, but they've left something for us to learn. And that is a clarion call for us to be able to understand that God requires us to live in accordance to His standards, follow His principles, follow what His prophets and apostles have taught. Hang in there, hang in there and strive to be, strive to overcome temptations. Because Christ also overcame, and since He also overcame, He promised that we will also be overcomers. And that is one thing we need to understand, my wonderful brothers and sisters. Mine is just to encourage you and keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on hanging in there, irrespective of different doctrines that people might come up with. And I know for members of the church, a lot is being spoken of about the church. Somebody will just wake up one day and just feel like he wants to speak falsehood about the church, and he wake up and speak anything. But don't be discouraged by that. Don't be discouraged. Just hang in there, because one thing is that you have the Spirit, you have the testimony of the Spirit with you. Hang in there and hold on to the iron rod. We had an experience some 2-3 weeks ago of a man who stood just right next to the temple, and he was taking videos. This was, I think it was on TikTok. He was taking videos, and he was trying to speak negative things about the church on that video, which was very, very, very strange to me. It was very strange. And surprisingly is that when he was there, he was actually giving an invitation for any member who feels that he wants to clarify these things, for those members to go and clarify with him. So I ended up realizing that this is a man who is only seeking after contention, and contention is not of God, it is of the devil. So we just left him do what he wanted to do and leave and go, because we never wanted to start contending with him and trying to speak evil things and all that. But I know with the time, the Lord will visit him. The Lord will visit him, and he will actually denounce what he had been speaking or what he had been propagating. I know these things to be true, and I know if we actually stick to what the Lord has taught, and we have the Spirit, the testimony of the Spirit, then our minds and our spirits will settle. And once they settle, we cannot actually be tossed around like with any wind of doctrine. But we shall be overcomers, because He actually overcame. Otherwise, thank you very much. God bless you. And I'm looking forward to see you again in the next video. Please welcome.